we're constantly testing new things inside of our business, and specifically on the marketing and the sales side of things. And here just this week, we decided, you know what, let's test having 2 seasoned sales reps at the same job, working with the same customer at the same time. What does this look like? What happens? Because actually one of our gutter launch clients said, yeah, you know what? When me and my technicians show up, we close a lot of jobs. Like we just kind of like, am I missing anything? And like we just pinball off of each other, and it works really, really well. And I was like, shoot, we should definitely give this a whirl, see what happens. I don't know how scalable it is, but maybe, like, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Yeah, it was crazy being able to show up and work off of each other's strengths. If the customer like went really technical, he could handle it. If the customer just wanted to chat, I could handle it. It was really fun watching the customer kind of like, who do I talk to about this thing? But also like being able to do like the good cop, bad cop thing a little bit. Like if he was really jiving with the customer, I could like redirect it back to business. Or if I was really jiving, he could redirect it back to business. And the 2 that we tested it on, the first one actually went from a $3,000 job to a $13,000 job. And the second one went from like an $8,000 job to a $14,000 job. So just us 2 being there increased the total sales that day by 10,000, and then what is that difference? 6,000. So $6,500, something like that. So huge $16,000 revenue increase by just having both of us there, which most sales reps don't sell $16,000 in a day in the gutter industry. So pretty cool how that all played out. We also like to test things in our videos as well. So hopefully Sam can figure this out, how we can have 2 people having 2 Collins having a conversation like that. But we just did this, and I actually did it with myself and my business partner, Daniel, inside a gutter launch. And he has very little experience in like home services and problem solving, but he has a ton of sales experience. So we had 2 seasoned guys there, and those results were true. I mean, that's exactly what happened, how it went. We were able to like, I don't want to say force, but get both homeowners there. The first one, we were only dealing with the husband, and we were able to draw the wife out of the house, be it by like the good cop, bad cop thing, and just asking the right questions, able to figure out a good solution for this family, and actually just kind of like figure out what their real problems were. At first it was, yeah, we got critters up here. And it's like, okay, yeah, you got critters up here, but what about like water in your basement? I noticed some holes here. Oh yeah, we've had water in our basement since we bought the house in the 70s. And like, do you want to try and fix that? Or like, I never thought about gutters to fix that. And so then it turned into gutters, and it turned into drain tile, and it just like poop, 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 right? It was really, really fun. But the whole process, and this is why we only tested it on 2. The whole sales process takes 2 to 3 hours to do it the proper way and actually figure out the root of your customer's issues and solve issues that, maybe they didn't call you for, but you can help solve those issues. So the mix of both of us working on it at the same time, asking different questions, the right questions, makes a world of a difference. And even down to like being able to like break tension. Like at one point we were talking business. We were getting down to the nitty gritty of the numbers and trying to get that close out of them. And both customers were like, oh yeah, this makes sense. We've never found a company that is willing to work with us on this type of thing. Like everybody always says, yeah, we can do it, and then we never hear back from them again with an estimate or anything like that. And I think it's just an intricate project that nobody really wants to tackle. And I was like, so we're working through it, and both Mr. and Mrs. are like, yes, yep, this makes sense. And then she just goes, but we got to talk about it in private. And we're like, oh. And then she just like kind of went on this rampage. Like we didn't say anything. And she just like for like a minute and a half. And Daniel just goes, and it blew my mind. He goes, hey, ma'am, is your hair naturally red? And I was like, what are you doing right now? And she goes, yeah, it is naturally red. It's turning gray now, but it's naturally red. And he goes, my mom's a redhead too. And he goes, it's so weird. Like, my dad's Venezuelan and my mom's a redhead with as pale a skin as you'd imagine. And they mix and they make me. And I was like, where the heck are you going with this, right? But all it did was broke tension, all right? I was listening to her rambling, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop it. And it worked so well. And it got her off of that. And then we were able to start talking about moving forward with the project again. All right. So we could play on different strengths. I was the one like closing the deal, and he got to be the one that was there to help like save the deal and be the friendly one and whatever else. So having two people on the same job, we increased our total sales that day from what would have been a $3,000 job and a $8,000 job into the 3,000 turned to 13,000 and the 7,800 turned into 14,000. All right. So huge increases by having two people. Now we don't have it all figured out. Like, what is comp structure going to look like if we're hiring two sales reps? Like, how does that work? You know, what does all this look like? Is it feasible? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? But we're constantly testing new things. That's the point of this whole video. Always be testing new things. Test how you carry your materials in. You know, you guys have heard me say I like carrying a bunch of my stuff in because the customer's like, oh, come in, set that at my table. That works, right? I'm also going to test being the professional with a briefcase, all right? We're going to test a million things. Test what you wear. Test wearing a cowboy hat. Test wearing a regular ball cap. Test wearing a North Face pullover versus a, you know, Great Value one, or what, I don't know if Great Value makes clothes, but whatever the cheap thing is, all right? Test your vehicle if you can. Test showing up in a little sales car versus a pickup truck. Test a new pickup truck versus an old pickup truck. You could test a million things, all right? Years and years and years ago, my very first sales job when I was 19 years old, I was selling cars. And I was kind of like studying, like, what do I wear? Because I'm this 19-year-old kid that likes baggy clothes a little bit. Like, that was before, you know, dudes wore shorts shorter than my wife's. But, you know, it was all about like, I don't know, still looking good, but looking fit, and like slim fit wasn't really a thing back then. So trying to figure it out. And I actually came across this guy that did a study on his suit, and he had a black, brown, and blue suit. And he studied each of them for like 6-month increments, which suit helped him sell more. And it was his brown suit. Black was too classy, right? Too professional. Blue was too like party boy. And brown, people took him more respectfully, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember all the ins and outs of it, but that was a real thing. And it just kind of got my brain going like, okay, you know, Tiger Woods likes wearing his red shirt on the last day of each golf tournament, right? Because it's his closing shirt or whatever. You know, maybe there's something to this. And so I started doing my own little test, and I've always maintained that. So test everything. Everything I say, test it. All right. Don't just take my word for it. Like, yeah, I'm the dude that has a pretty good sized business. By no means am I a massive business, but has a good sized business with money to test different things. So you can learn from things that I do, but you got to test it yourself, right? At the end of the day, you need to be testing everything. Split test everything with your marketing. Try the same ad body with different images. Try the same images with different ad body. We got to test all of it all the time. Otherwise, how much money are you leaving on the table? You know, for example, like just in this example, we would have left 10 grand and 6 grand. So $16,000 on the table if we didn't have two sales reps on that sales call, on those two sales calls. Like, that's a big deal. Like, sure, 16 grand isn't all profit, right? There's materials and labor and all that fun stuff. But if you're a healthy business running 20 to 30% bottom line, 20% of 10 grand is 2. So of 16, that's what, $2,600? Is that right? No, 20 or $3,200. $3,200 would have been left on the table if we didn't have two sales reps on that. All right, so test everything. That's it. That's all I'm here to say. Test everything. We tried something cool. We're trying something new with this video, and hopefully this has benefited you. Give it a whirl. You don't need to go hire a separate salesperson. Try it with one of your technicians. Maybe if you're a business owner, just run with one of your sales reps and test it for a day or two. See how it goes. And maybe you're like, whoa, this was baller. This is what I want to do in my business. I don't know, but give it a whirl. Test everything, kick some butt, take some names, and give bigly first so that you can win bigly on the back end. We'll see y'all next time.